What's up, everybody? James Bushell here, and I'm back at you with another video. It's been a while, but I've been very busy in school, but I saw that I crossed 100 subscribers, and I said, you know, the people deserve a video. So here I am. Today's video is my top 5 characters, and I don't want to give credit to D&D. I'm going to give credit to the actors. These are the top 5 characters that I actually like better on the show than I did on the books. Now, people that know me would probably say, you know, that I am definitely one that likes the books a lot more than the show. But that being said, I believe the show is littered with plenty of great actors. And there has been many a great performance. And I'd like to highlight a few of them that I think went beyond the book character. So let's start out with number 5, Mr. Tormund Giantsbane. I apologize in advance to the people of the great nation of Norway, but I believe the actor's name is pronounced Christopher Hivju, something like that. Once again, I apologize. Look, in the books, Tormund, you know, he's in Mance's camp when Jon first stumbles up in there after he killed Corn Halfhand. Tormund is definitely a amiable fellow. He's quite jovial. But he's definitely, he doesn't have as big as presence as I believe in the show. The show, he's a little bit more of a badass. He's not as funny. Quite menacing looking. But he's got, you know, he's had fight scenes on the show, especially the Hard Home episode. I thought he was awesome. The Watchers on the Wall episode, season 4, episode 9. He was just a straight beast in that episode. You know, killing people left and right. 1v, having a great one-on-one fight with Alistair Thorne. And you know, he had to be, like, subdued at the end with, like, 6 arrows in his body. He was quite beastly. I mean, in the books, he's not a bad character. He doesn't have much of a presence. I mean, what's the most important thing he does? Talks about fucking a bear? I mean, I don't know. I know Jon, you know, Jon talks with them a little bit. They have an interaction and dance, but really his presence in the book isn't as profound as it is in the show, I believe. And I think that's credit to the actor. And the writing as well. I mean, I guess, hate to credit the writing, but I mean, they did give him more to work with in the show. So let's move on to number 4, Bran. Now, Bran in the books, I mean, I think you could take all of Bran's dialogue and it would, like, be contained on 2 pages. You took every single word he said in the books and put it on 2 pages. That's about as much as dialogue as he's had. Of course, the showrunners, they love them some Bran. I think despite having like 15 to 20 lines of dialogue in the book, I'm sure he's had more screen time than Stannis and Davos. That being said, I think he's a cool dude on the show. I like the actor Jerome Flynn. He's quite, I think he's got that kind of, like, you know, that swashbuckler, knave character down to a T. You know, in the books, Bran does have somewhat of a presence, but he doesn't say much. I mean, you know he's talked about here and there, the whole stuff in Cersei's chapters in Feast, with Felice Stokeworth and her husband, their troubles with Bran, and how that whole situation plays out. But really doesn't have much dialogue if you think about it. Go back and read, and I think you'd be shocked to see how much dialogue that Bran actually has. That being said, his character's, you know, obviously a fan favorite on the show. I talked to my show friends who only show watcher friends. I apologize for that. Who only watch the show, and they all say, "Yo, Bran. I love Bran. He's an awesome character." They're like, "Oh, he must be badass in the books, right?" I'm like, maybe a little badass, but he doesn't really do much in the books, to be honest. But I can definitely see his appeal to people that only watch the show. Number 3, Sandor Clegane. It was a little bit of a shock. I'm not a huge Sandor fan in the books. I know a lot of people love him. I really don't. I mean, to me, he's there. Yeah, he's got a cool storyline with Sansa and stuff, and his storyline with Arya is pretty good. But really, I mean, he didn't resonate with me. The actor though, Rory McCann, I think he played the Hound really good. I really enjoyed for the most part, the added stuff with Arya and Sandor in season 4. I love the crossroads at the end scene when they kill Polliver and Arya gets needled back. The whole fucking chicken. He ate all the chickens in the place and stuff like that. But yeah, I like the Hound more on the show than I did in the books. I know that's gonna upset some people, but it is what it is. Like I said in the books, he's just, I don't know. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. He's just kind of there, to me. But I love him in the show. I love Rory McCann's performance in the show. Number 2, Mr. Jon Snow. Now, look, I know Jon Snow's a fan favorite. I like Jon in the books too, but let's be real, he's kind of emo in the books. He's definitely and he's got a reason to be. I'm not going to deny that. Like I said, I like him in the books, but I like him a lot more in the show. And I think that has to do more with the writing. I think Kit Harington is fine, but I think obviously the show is really trying to make him more of a standout. They don't want to taint their hero. But really in the books, he's a good dueler. He's good dueling other, other trainees in the Night's Watch. He beats them, but he's got castle training. But aside from that, is he really that badass in the books? Doesn't have that many fights. Just kind of mopes a lot. But I like him. I think he's fine character in the books. But I just think in the show, he's definitely a lot more of a badass as a fighter. Watchers on the Wall episode, his one-on-one fight with the Thenn, smashing him over his head with the hammer, and his fight with the White Walker in the Hardhome episode, that was pretty badass. So yeah, I like Jon Snow better in the show than I do in the books. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but in the books, like I said, kind of whiny, kind of emo, not really that big of a badass. But like I said, I like him in the books. I like his POVs. I really like his POVs in the books because there's a lot of Stannis in Dance. But that being said, I did enjoy his time beyond the wall in the books. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But yeah, so that's number 2, Jon Snow. And without a doubt, the number 1 best character in the show, in my opinion, the second best character in the show altogether. Well, okay, best acted character in the show, period, is Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance. In the books, I gotta be honest with you, Tywin doesn't really have that big of a presence in the books. I'd say he's really only in like 4 or 5. I haven't done the research, but I think he's only maybe like actually physically in maybe, I would guess, under 10 chapters in the books. Really doesn't have much to say in the books. He doesn't do much in the books. I know he's been, he's an important character. He's done important things in the books, but the presence wasn't as profound, in my opinion, as it is in the show. I thought Charles Dance was magnificent. I think like I said, I believe him and Stephen Delane. I'd put Dance's ahead of Stephen Delane by just a smidgen. But Charles Dance, to me, I think he is out of everyone else's league in the show, in my opinion, in terms of acting. Magnificent in the show. I thought he brought a gravitas that no one else can match on screen. That being said, he's gone. I was actually a little saddened, because I knew it was coming, obviously. And I was like, oh, well, we're going to be losing Charles Dance. But it is what it is. So that was my list, guys. Tell me if you agree or disagree. I'll say some honorable mentions. I like Jorah better on the show. I definitely didn't like Stannis more on the show. I like Stannis, but I didn't like him more on the show. But yeah, Jorah I liked more on the show. I don't like Tyrion as much on the show. I think they whitewashed him too much. A lot more of a little insolent little shit on the show, or in the books. But that being said, not so much on the show. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of, guys. Like I said to the new subscribers, I really appreciate you subscribing. And I appreciate everyone just watching in general. Leave a comment if you think I was wrong, or if you think I was right, or if anything else you have to throw in there in the conversation. I will respond back if possible. And yeah, if you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. And you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle will be in the description. Until next time, guys, have a good one.